How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. I'm not alone today. I'm joined by the fantastic Arcturus of the Dragon Slayers community. If you don't know the Dragon Slayers, they are excellent players of Watcher of Realms, and most importantly, they're very much experts in a lot of the content that us, or at least most importantly to me, I should say, and to you guys that watch my channel, they're experts in content that we're not necessarily privy to, because a lot of these guys, especially like Arcturus, are long playing members in Watcher of Realms on Forerunner. So today we're talking about Immortal Codex, which is something, if I'm not mistaken, sir, maybe I'll let you introduce yourself and you can tell me how familiar you are with Immortal Codex, because my understanding is you've succeeded immensely on every Immortal Codex that's arrived so far in game on Forerunner.
Yeah, so we've had one round of Immortal Codex come through on Forerunners, and it's some really fun content. I was scoring sort of in the upper tiers for most of it, but I mean, not like triple S for all the phases, but I certainly learned a lot, and it would be interesting to see if anything has changed when it does finally come to global.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I think you touched on a couple really quick important things to help us transition here. So when it finally comes to global, people might be wondering, well, it said Immortal Codex was coming yesterday. We're filming on Saturday right now. It said it was coming on December 15th. If you guys look, I really do not like the UI here. You got to tell me what you think. Like, there's no Immortal Codex button. You have to go to the Frostfall Jamboree, and even here it says boss challenge easy, boss challenge hard. I had multiple people reaching out to me asking me where Immortal Codex was, not realizing this was that. Don't you think that's strange?
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
It is a little strange, but I think this is because this isn't really the Immortal Codex. This is a taster experience of Immortal Codex. When Immortal Codex came to Forerunners, it was in the events tab, and it was clearly a defined clickable, and then that would launch off to the Immortal Codex, and it would bring up this knowledge book, and from that there was the 3 phases that you could dive into. So this is a taster session. So the experience here where you're feeling like an absolute god and getting triple S with your teams, it's probably not going to happen when it goes actually live, because at the moment you're competing with yourself. You're not necessarily competing with everybody else, and because it's easy, I think they've set the thresholds quite low, so everyone gets the benefits of the 200 stockings a day for the shop. So I think this is very much a taster session to let us see what Lord of the Sticks is like. He was certainly the most frustrating of the 3 phases last time, so it's interesting to see him again and see the small changes they've made to how he plays.
Yeah, I already set my Lord of the Sticks run before we hopped on this call, so I'll just have that running in the background. For anyone, this is Lord of the Sticks, not Zealous, right? This couldn't be Zealous. This is the Lord of the Sticks. No, but I think right before we got on, I was like, hey, I just want to be sure this isn't really Immortal Codex, right? Because you can see I'm already triple S, and I'm going to put up, I think my last run was over 5 million. So I was like, I shouldn't be quintupling triple S already, right? But this is the other thing I was going to say that you helped me transition into. This is like literally easy mode. They're not just calling it easy. This is like, hey, this is the most simple way we can show you how the mechanics work. It actually begins on Monday, right?
Yeah, it's probably going to start on Monday for 2 weeks, which is a perfect time to have it because it's right across the holidays. People have time to sit and play with it, and it will start with the first phase, who's I can't remember. We'll jump across to Facebook in a second and look at the post, but it's the first boss is
the
he runs
boss,
for
right?
2 days.
The summoner boss.
Yeah, the Cyrus boss.
Yeah.
Then it'll be him for 2 days, and then it'll unlock the next stage, and then it'll unlock the final stage, which is like this. And they've changed the mechanics on this slightly, so the shields seem a little bit weaker, which is a good thing, because previously they were like hitting 150, 200 on the second shield, and people were really struggling to get triple S on this base.
I chatted with Ray, for anyone who doesn't know, also a friend of yours, friend of mine, also in the Dragon Slayers community, and he was saying, yeah, the strat, man, is just get that first shield down and then unload as much damage, because you're not going to make it much longer. And as you guys can see now, granted, this seems like easy peasy mode, but I'm going to make it the whole fight. So I'm quite excited to hear. I like hard content, and I couldn't believe how easy this was. So let's get on to Facebook in just 1 second, but while we're here, we'll let my fight wrap up. And I had one more question. So I actually missed my fight yesterday because I had an improper understanding of how this worked, and I'm wondering if that was just with regard to this Friday, Saturday, Sunday taster mode, easy peasy mode, or if that's how it's going to work with these. So you see right now, I don't get rewards because I've already cleared it before, but there you go, 5.1 million. That seems like way too much. We can show stats for anyone that's curious. It's a solid team. I've got meta heroes. But you get the 200 stalkings a day. That's how it's going right now. Do you think in the next 2 weeks, is it daily rewards? Because I was thinking you have 2 weeks to max out your scores over 2 weeks, and then there'd be like a settlement period. But maybe I think I might have been dead wrong. I don't know.
No, so how it played out on Forerunners, and I'm hoping that it's going to be the same again, is that you've got 2 weeks for the full phases, but you obviously phases 2 and 3 have slightly reduced periods to complete that. They have the same start and the same end date for all 3 phases. But you have to have completed phase 1 to unlock phase 2 and phase 3. So you can't just dive in the middle of towards the end and go straight to phase 3. But it was like for getting S tier, you were getting 90 fragments of an ancient summoning crystal, which was 3. So that's 3 shards. 3 ancient summoning crystals, and that was for each of the phases, and that was just the tier rewards, and then you'd also get like the ranking rewards, like how you play. So at the moment, this is all just on the tier rewards. So what damage threshold you've hit. We haven't got the individual rankings yet, where you're competing with other players,
which I think is going to be the real fun part. Like that's my kind of PvP, you know, because in this game, there's not really head-to-head combat. That's fun, you know, like we all test our strategies. I mean, there's going to be a pay-to-win element like there always is, but to me, that sounds really exciting. I do want to ask though, so do those all settle, you know, so let's say phase 1's on Monday, phase 2 is on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then phase 3 is on Thursday, Friday, right? And then they all end probably a week, 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? So once that money happens, 2 Sundays from then, will there be daily settlements, or it's all just settled at the end? Because that's what I thought it would also.
It's all just settled at the end, and you just get like a big chunk of stuff coming into your inbox.
Okay. So I feel like a
loads
fool,
of
but I don't feel like
loads of ancient summoning zones. It's quite a nice prize at the end.
I'm mostly selfishly asking because I feel like a fool for missing it yesterday, but now I don't feel like as much of a fool because I was like, I've got the whole weekend to do it, and I missed out on 200 stockings, but 200 stockings, whatever.
Well, you got 1,500 today for Club because everyone else has been summoning. So
when they set those things, let's just quick. I mean, this has nothing to do with anything, but I just want to. I'm not going to make a video about this, but I was like, when they set this festive frenzy, there was like 3.5 million summons or whatever it was, and I was like, we're going to do that in hours. And then the second the 1+, this was done in literally 1 hour, I think, once the 1+1 went live. It's very generous, so we'll take it. But anyway, let's pop on that display mode and let's actually look. So they posted this on Discord, they posted it on Facebook. They've got I will say, I don't love the Watchers Academy videos sometimes. You sent me their Watchers Academy for Immortal Codex. I'll probably include the link in the top pinned comment for that, as well as I'll include links to the 2 Immortal Codex videos that the Dragon Slayers and Arcturus have put out. That video from Watchers Academy is great. I watched the whole thing. I never watch stuff on YouTube, and that was like, it really explains it well. But we're going to explain it better. So
absolutely. It's really good summary of what's going to come, and it goes over some of the strategies and how to play it. It's definitely one to watch, and Yeah, let's see it.
So yeah, here on Facebook, this is also available on Discord. They shared many slides that actually get into the details. I guess I'll quickly just I'll just introduce everyone to what we're looking at with the 3 bosses, and then I'm going to hand it over to you, Mr. Arcturus, and you can kind of take us through one by one. I'm sure I'll have a million questions because I'm annoying like that. But if we look here, there's 3 bosses. The Conqueror, who is literally just Cyrus, and then they souped him up to make him this big boss. This is a summoner guy. You're going to want to use melee units. And if I'm not mistaken, right, there's no platform units here, right? Only melee units?
No, there's no platform units in the final boss rush stage. So in this one, you're going to be looking at people like Meriel and Constance to if you want heals, or you can just go hell for leather with full DPS. In this one, they've got people like Ardia, so ranged fighters are really good. Nice. Again, Cyrus, he's a strong defender, but he's also a summoner, so he's going to be slowing people down and being able to apply damage. You've got Garn, so you've got lots of damage, lots of range, and then you've got AoE attacks in Aatrox. Cerberus always works really well, and with the Lunacy Visor, he works pretty well. Captain Reeve, if you've got him, works quite nicely as well.
Yeah, with those permanent slow auras would be amazing. Let's just quickly go through the bosses, then we'll go to the beginning and we'll take it. But yeah, so this is the Cyrus boss. People just be prepared when it comes. This will be phase 1, your only melee units, and we do have that hero training live right now. So like if you've got Mariel, I just 6-starred mine. I really suggest you guys do that too. She's also really good for Watcher faction trials. We go here, Wasteland Titan. Arcturus, you and I were just chatting about this. He's kind of like an interesting reskin of the primitive golem. So this is the only one that they didn't rip off from a hero. So what's the aesthetic change we're looking at here?
Well, I mean, rather than having the sort of the blue chest that goes red when he's raging, he's just got a green glow in his chest.
Pretty innovative stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty much the Gear Raid 2 boss.
Yeah. And this guy this is who I'm most excited for. So we'll break this down further in a second, but this guy's only healers, and your healers are going to do damage. I cannot wait. Again, we have the hero training live. For example, I'm about to 6-star my Aelin specifically for this fight. And then finally, we have what we just saw, which is the Zealous boss, but not Zealous. This is the Lord of the Styx. This hellish little mage that we have to deal with his shields. So let's go right to the beginning now. So totally new feature. Any general thoughts before we break this down in proper detail?
It's a nice feature. I mean, I think 2 weeks is pushing the end. It's the absolute length you want to have for this. It's a little bit long, but a week is probably a bit too short, and then you've got to get the cadence right for how often you're running it anyway. So 2 weeks probably fits the giving out the number of rewards versus people getting grumpy that it's not happening all the time. So
yes. Yeah, when I heard it was 2 weeks, I was like, that's really nice because you can take a lot of time with a bit of procrastination or finding when it fits into your schedule, because this is something where you're going to want to move gear around and really tweak it out because you want to min-max, get that absolute top score, because it's not just about hitting tiers, but also there's going to be a ranking reward. But I also thought that could be 8 or 10 days. I feel like they're doing 2 weeks because it's probably going to be like, it sounds, you tell me, but it sounds like the rewards are really generous, so they can't run this every other week, This is going to have to be once in a while.
The rewards were generous. It was really nice chunk of rewards. I think I was pulling down about 1,000 gems and 10 ancient summoning stones by the end of it. So it was definitely, it's definitely, and I wasn't getting top tier rewards and everything. So
you would say you were hitting available. Some S's, some double S's, some like you weren't like right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not raised level, but it was definitely I was doing okay. I think I was in the top 100 for most of them, but not in the
I was articulating that. I mean, I'm sure you did a tremendous job. I just want to articulate to viewers, even if you're not, the whaliest of all whales or something like this, even if you're a normal player, I mean, Arcturus, you're a great player. It's still very generous from what we've seen so far on Forerunner, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you nip into my video, I do pull up the actual sort of the rewards tab at one stage, and it is like quite generous all through the rankings. And as you've seen already in the rewards for the sort of the triple S through S plus, double S and double S pluses that are in the ranking, there are rewards at each of those levels. I mean, they're not going to be exactly the same level, but I mean, they'll graduate down towards F, and most of the time most players are going to be doing the best they can in the gear they've got, and at the end of the day, that's what you should really be competing with. You shouldn't be trying to compare yourself to the Ray Panassis of the world, because that guy puts a lot into the game. So yeah, you've got to like scope against what you're willing to fight for. So
yeah, no, I think it's what I'm so excited about with this, assuming, I mean, I do hope they eventually have more and more phases, but this is what a cool way to benchmark your account, you know, like last codex, because you're going to min-max it. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably like a hardo like we are, you're going to want to min-max it, and then this will be something you can reference in whenever they run it 6 weeks or 8 weeks from this one, and you can be like, all right, now I'm doing this to the Cyrus boss, ooh, getting Ardia into this build, or oh, I'm so happy I pulled Zila 2, or something like this, right? I think that's going to be, for me, I'm just really excited, and I'm really excited that, like, you know, Mariel's going to get some shine, all these healers are going to get built now. Really interesting stuff. So let's head right into this now. So it's a brand new mechanic. Do you want to talk how we have like the regular form and then the boss rush? What that, I mean, people have gotten a taste of it now with our little teaser. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I kind of blinked and missed the regular phase of the boss fight rush, so the boss stage on this one myself. But yeah, so it kind of goes through the basics of what you're going to do in the boss rush. So he'll summon in, and he'll start doing what he's going to be doing in the main portion of the game in the boss rush, and you just whittle his health bar down to 0, at which point it flashes up boss rush, and then it kicks into the next phase, and you get the boss rush effects. So for Lord of the Sticks, you get the lifesteal, which is really helpful. And in others, you get like higher attack speed, or your healing does more effect, is stronger, or things like that. So you get different effects on each of them. So
yeah, and that's the moment where people can then. That's when people are racking up, just max your damage, max your points, right? Once the rush kicks in.
Yeah. Absolutely, because you're not scoring any points until you get into the boss rush phase. First, because the first challenge is you've got to beat the boss, and then you get the boss rush.
Can I ask, is there a strat where, I mean, if you have a good enough team or you have a good enough strategy, that you sit on like all your ults until the rush actually starts? You just comfortably manage the beginning of the fight, and then you unload right away just to maximize?
It doesn't matter, because you probably noticed that as you transition from the two phases, that there is a period of time where your heroes are doing nothing, so there's normally enough time for your ultimate to come back up anyway. One thing I did encounter in the Lord of the Sticks in the last one was if you killed him just as his shield was coming up, you would die immediately, because there was no time to defeat the shield before he took a first swing. So there might be one or two timing issues, but that was the only sort of one I encountered. It's not even a bug, it's just a feature.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Let's talk about the specific fights now. I mean, we don't need to go into... We gave little teasers of them, but so here's the Cyrus boss, and I'll read through it, and then you go into the nitty-gritty. Basically, he's going to summon these army of monsters. Attacking those monsters, they're like linked with Cyrus, linked with the Conqueror, so that will deal damage to him as well, and then you will enter the boss rush mode, which to my understanding, he's sending them all out like crazy, but also that the buff you get here during boss rush is you get super boons to your attack speed, so you're also attacking like crazy, and basically it's just like a messy mad dash of damage going back and forth, and you just try to survive and try to put up some big numbers, right?
Exactly that. There's, as I say, there are some good strategies out there with Cerberus if he's using the Lunacy Visor, because obviously he's got big AoE, he's doing lots of damage, and he's attacking quickly, so he's able to heal himself back up with the Lunacy Visor.
Let me interrupt you really quickly. For anyone, just because they decided they were going to change every single artifact name, this is the artifact formerly known as Soul Drinker. I run Cerberus a lot on stream, and people are always asking me, how is your Cerberus healing himself? Because Cerberus can't be healed. Well, that's how. With that Soul Drinker Lunacy Visor, I think technically they're calling it HP regeneration as like a workaround, so technically it's not healing, but it is an amazing artifact for a lot of content on Cerberus. So please continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's got like this big AoE, and he's doing lots of damage, so he's able to really weaken everyone else, and then Some of the real top teams were even using a Morrigan lead, because then you've obviously got the effect of someone like Reeve at the front. You've got the boost to Cerberus, and so even if she wasn't down, you're getting the leader benefits there. So there's lots of interesting things that can be done on this one.
Yeah, that's interesting with Morgan. Like her Lord skill is powerful enough that it's outweighing an 8th person or a 6th person coming down, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well,
especially because it's boosting the AoE. So
for sure. No, I actually think I just started questioning myself as I asked that. So we've seen only, or the normies on global like me, we've only seen the Styx boss, the Zealous boss. Are they all only 6 deploys? Actually, I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah, they're only 6 deploys.
And you can only bring 6 every time too. So then the thing is you're bringing Morgan even though you're sacrificing a 6th deploy. You're only going to deploy 5 people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's exactly that. So you're compromising putting an extra person down, but you're gaining so much bonus damage from her leadership skill that
I can imagine.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's sort of counteracting it.
Yeah. And even more than counteracting it, it's to the benefit. That's an interesting thing to figure out, because obviously we don't have a ground base. We don't have a melee cultist lord that people can bring in. All right. Any final thoughts about Cyrus the Conqueror?
No. It's one that can go wrong very, very quickly, but it's fun to sort of watch it all fall apart and then just go, yeah, let's try that again.
Yeah, there's going to be some tinkering involved.
Yeah.
I guess my final question would be, am I going to be as happy as I think I'm going to be that I have Ardia for this fight?
I think you are. She was definitely scoring in like the top 5, top 10 positions really highly. So it's definitely one to build and have her ready to unleash hell.
I can't wait. I'm imagining my Artie and my Arrogance side by side. All right, on to the Wasteland Titan. So the Wasteland Titan possesses extremely high defense, is immune to all debuffs and crowd control effects when attacking, inflicts a healing reduction. Among the various heroes, only Iona can deal effective damage to it. Ensure the survival of both Iona and her clones to achieve victory. So this one makes no sense to me. We're talking about Iona, but you can only bring healers. What is going on?
Okay, so to clarify, you don't bring Iona. There are stone statues of Iona on the map, and you heal them above a threshold, at which point they will start doing damage. I would say that possibly the lead-in stages, the training stages for this, the first 4 stages, are the weakest in terms of like teaching you the mechanic, because there's not really enough of the clones to kill the enemies, so you're compensating a bit there with other ground units. But it's definitely, you get your healers down. You need some cleanses, so that's why Midan and Eloin are both there, because you need to be able to heal the children. Heal the statues so that they can keep going. Because he applies an anti-healing effect on the people.
Interesting. So basically, the way you're like getting damage out of your healers is you have to keep these Iona statues alive and doing damage, and also healed above a threshold, right? So that's why your healers are effectively, even if they're not doing the damage, they're enabling the damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very interesting. This fight this is probably the piece of content I've been most excited for since I started playing. I hope it lives up to my super high expectation. I can't wait. Okay, so I think that about covers Phase 2, the Wasteland Titan, and now for the one we, I guess, kind of know and love. We've gotten a little bit of a little taster, as you like to say. Lord of the Styx, aka Zealous. He activates his Soul Keeper shield. We've all seen that now periodically, which can only be broken with an intense barrage of attacks. Something I found interesting is it's not about the damage of the attacks, it's literally the quantity of attacks. Then you'll finally break the shield. You want to do as quickly as possible, and you'll enter that weakened state. Failing to do so will result in crazy damage. You'll basically get wiped, is it what it seems like. So you want to break that shield as quickly as possible and then unload as much. So break it with a quantity of attacks, as many attacks as possible, and then unload as much damage as possible. So a nice little balancing
Yeah.
act there. What would you like to add?
Yeah. I mean, I know Tazira it gets a lot of stick for being crap, but actually, this is one area that she's quite good at doing because she's got very high attack speed on her ultimate. So she can really, and she doesn't need to do a lot of damage. All she needs to do is just ping that shield really, really fast, and that's bringing down the hit count on it, and then other people can just like finish it off so that you can get to doing damage to him as quickly as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this
other
is,
than that's. I'm hoping that the thresholds that we're seeing in this are similar to we're seen in are going to be similar to what we see when it goes live on global, because the shield thresholds were ramped really, really quickly on Forerunner when it first came out, and you were hitting over 200 very, very quickly, and that timer seemed very quick too. So it wasn't really enough time to get through many shields, and not many people were running the clock down. So it's very much a case of getting those shields down, getting as much damage in as fast as you can, and so exactly, people like up for this perfect, like Salazar, Setram. Yeah, I mean, this is a really good lineup here for doing the damage. But
yeah, I was thinking that. I was going to say, I'm pretty excited because I'm a big fan of Falcia. Like, I like her a lot, and I encourage people to go for her, and I think this is going to be a big payoff for people that went for her. I mean, with that specialized attack speed and the damage she puts out, I think she's going to be a superstar for this fight. I don't know. Did she get a lot of play?
Yeah, I imagine she could. I mean, I haven't got my. I mean, I've even got Vorath Artifact at level 2, and I haven't actually tried running it. But it's one that might be worth playing with, because it is all about getting that shield down as fast as possible, and then so that you can maximize the attacks out through that ultimate. So
yeah, like with the specialized.
Had some success with Demos. That was quite good. So.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, Dimos goes crazy on his ult. He could be really good. Yeah, Falcia and Vorath at that specialized attack. I mean, you can get. I've seen Falcia at like 0.7 seconds. I mean, that is rapid. This is going to be honestly, my expectations are high. This seems like my kind of content. This is like engaging, kind of you versus yourself, bang your head against the wall, min-max it, perform as well as your account will let you kind of content. And I am pumped. Are you excited for it to hit global, Arcturus?
Possibly not with my global account, because my global account is seriously weak. But it's a level 50 account, and half my characters aren't even 6 stars. So it's just
you got some work.
It's something which is ticking along, and hoping I'm not dragging the rest of my guild down while I play with it, but try to manage the 2 accounts. So.
Is it actually going live on Forerunner as well with the Frostal Jamboree? Is this going to be your second round of it?
Yeah, they've actually, all the events are coinciding. So we started the easy mode yesterday. The summoning events are identical. We've got Alistair going on at the same time. I'm not sure if our Christmas summons are going to be the same as yours, because obviously Boreas has been live on Forerunners for a while. And as has Orim, so there's nothing new there. And Gwendolyn, this is the 3rd attempt to get her on Forerunners. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they change up anything. But we certainly know that we're going to have some interesting events to do, and everyone is competing hard already. So it's going to get hard to podium, but there's lots of ways to get the shards this time.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the information you provided has been invaluable. I want to reiterate to everyone that you have 2 great Immortal Codex videos on your channel that will be linked in the description, so definitely go check those out. Also, check out the one Watchers Academy put out, the official Watcher of Realms account. Actually, it shockingly was quite good. I want to ask you one more thing while I have you here, and then I'll let you go enjoy your weekend with your family. So you mentioned Gwendolyn just now. Tell me, should people do it? This is the 3rd time she's coming around. You guys have had a lot of play with her on Forerunner. You're making a face. Tell me.
She's niche. She's got like super hard shields, and she boosts everyone else's shields by 30%. So if you're running someone like Isolde or a Haas, then you're going to have some super hard shields to get through. And she does have some utility as a Gear Raid 2 strategy with a Spirit Horn. If you get her down early enough, then you can tank through all of the shields. But she's difficult. I found her difficult to use. So people say that she gets a lot easier once you get up to A3, but that's a big investment to get someone to that on a rare summon. So
I think you're hitting all my speculation. You're sounding like that was realized for you, and this is what I want to impress upon the viewer. I really think, and you let me know if this is the right take, or at least you agree with it. I think with Gwendolyn, the two ways you should go for her is if you're going to go in on her because you're a North boy or a North girl, you're a North person, you really want that Northerner squad, you want to get that meta working, you want to get her boosts, or you're a collector, or you're a giant whale that's going to pull on everything anyway. I think those are the three reasons. I might go for her because I kind of am in whale territory with the amount of content creator awards I get, and I am a collector. I still might pass, though. Do you think that's the right assessment of the three kinds of people that maybe should go for her? Or could she fit? Like, because I've had people of all different spending types asking, and I think a lot of people should pass. I think that's where I'm leaning.
I think for most people, Boreas is going to be more game-changing than Gwendolyn. So he's probably going to be the one to suddenly make someone like I or Mari suddenly usable in real endgame content, because the ability to freeze someone and then inflict massive damage on them. So it's going to be the person who makes the biggest difference, I think, for more people. But the trouble is you're then also pulling against Aurim, and Aurim is much more limited in use, because most of the time if you're running Infernals, you're not worrying about tanks, you're just worrying about killing everything really quickly.
Yeah, my understanding is Aurim can like be a better version of Titus as like a star for like very end game faction trial, and that's about it.
Yeah, a lot cheaper too, but yeah, he's
better
not,
be.
I haven't got him, but I'm not keen to get him, so
yeah. Yeah, and I do want to say, I think that an A1 Cetrum really could be a game changer for a lot of people. So something to keep in mind. Mr. Arcturus, thank you so much for joining. I also will let people in on a behind-the-scenes moment. We filmed a separate video on Thursday, and I messed up all the audio and had to throw the whole thing out. So thank you for tolerating me again. It's been a pleasure having you on. Any final plug for the Dragon Slayers, or shall we go enjoy our weekend?
No, I mean we're still trying to get out content on our channel. We've got a very active Discord if you're not already there, and we do have a website. It's undergoing some maintenance at the moment, but yeah, we are active. We've got lots of knowledgeable people, and we're always willing to share advice, give tips on how to defeat void rifts and anything. So always drop by, ask us questions. We're always willing to help.
Yeah, super generous community, guys. A lot of experts there, and there's no ego. So they're going to tell you, they're going to help you, honestly. Arcturus, thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like it, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, share it with your mother, and we'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.